Hi everyone, KingDoug87 here, and this is a Crucible multiplayer match 6v6 on the Venus map, Shores of Time. In my last video I stated that I wouldn't be wanting to touch the beta anymore, as I wanted to start the game fresh when the game is completely released in September. That plan went out the window and I decided to try out the multiplayer, as I was already sold on the main campaign and its co-op offerings. I wanted to see what everyone was talking about.
Control. Bravo team. Time to fight, Guardians. Capture all zones.
I did play around 10 games before this one, but this was the first where I actually did a pretty good job. I got a nice KD and ended up finishing around on top of the ladder. It took me a while to get used to this style of PvP as well, because I think I'm still in the Killzone Shadowfall mode. Destiny is a lot faster, and in the beginning I couldn't actually keep up. I was getting slaughtered. To begin with though, I thought it might have been due to the fact that other players had better gear. As with Destiny, the more you play, the more chances you have at obtaining better gear. But I soon learned that was definitely not the case. It was just my lack of skill and knowledge of the game and the areas and the maps. As soon as I got a bit of a feel for it, I started to get into my own. You'll probably notice that I won't talk a lot through this video. I'll just pop in every so often when I have something I think worth saying. But in regards to when you first start up the Destiny PvP, I think a lot of new players who might not be skilled will feel that they're really overwhelmed, as other players will be having better gear and more experience with it, and it might take them a while to get up there, especially if they go straight into the PvP without trying the story mode first. I'm glad they've got that level 5 cap now, but that might change in the full game. Hopefully Bungie though will put in a great system in separating players, not only based on level but potentially based on gear as well. Or they could just lump everyone together just to make it more chaotic, and I'm sure the chaos will be fun too.
Zone C lost. Enemy captured Zone C.
As you can probably tell through that last clip of gameplay there, my aim is not really up to scratch at all. I think I'm still in the mode of another shooter, the Killzone Shadowfall, which didn't have aim assist. And I'm not 100% sure if this game does or not. It definitely feels like it has a small, not a great aim assist, but a small aim assist. And that's why you'll see me shooting a lot from the hip rather than down the sights, as every time I aim down the sights, I would overcompensate because I wasn't taking into account any aim assist, and that's what happened a lot there.
Enemy captured Zone B.
One of the great things Destiny can do is real-time on-the-fly weapon and equipment changing. Right now I'm just going through some upgrades of my weapons, and I've done that after I've died, but technically I could do that during in-game, where my character would just stand there while the rest of the game happened around me. By going through the options menu, you can swap your primary, special and heavy weapons, though at a cost of losing any ammo for said weapon, with now having to obtain it in-game around the field on ammo drops. As stated before, you can also swap equipment, so you can adjust your equipment to your surroundings, and also the weapons that you choose, as particular equipment can have added benefits to a specific type of weapon you might want to use. I think this is going to offer some great multiplayer experiences, as strategy will become just as important as the player's skill, and potentially I think this will be more of an effective way of offering options to the players rather than the standard loadout system which you see in many other shooters. This again might change during the full game. It might not come to fruition, but I can dream, and I'm dreaming big.
Zone C. Zone A secure. Zone B lost. You neutralized Zone C. Enemy captured Zone B. Zone C captured. Zone A lost. Enemy captured Zone A. You neutralized Zone B.
Now, I have been very positive on Destiny, but if I had to give any criticism on the game, and these are minor, some of the things I don't particularly like, of course, is the HUD. Actually, I think the HUD clutters the screen a bit too much. Now, while each part of the HUD does actually contain information, when you've got like your super unlocked and the different weapons on the left, the score on the right, the capturing in the middle, the points in the middle of who you're shooting, the map up the top left. I'm assuming the Destiny beta up in the top right will leave, but other things as well will pop up as well. And while again each part of each information is important, I think they might be able to work in some way of changing that, because to me I'm looking at the action behind numbers and images, and it's not necessarily something I particularly enjoy. I'd rather see the action. Another thing that I particularly don't really care for is the voiceover. Now, the voiceover of the multiplayer is very monotone and boring. Though, in its defense, when the voice does actually show some emotion later in the games, when it's coming to like the close, it actually makes it a bit more tense when he shows some emotion, just because it's the juxtaposition of how he sounded before. So I'm 50-50. If they leave it, they leave it. But if they change it, I'm sure they'll change it for the better.
Zone A lost. Heavy ammo available.
In closing, am I excited for the PvP? Yes. Am I excited as I am for the main story and the cooperative aspects of Destiny? No, not really. The main story and the co-op is definitely my main selling point of this game, but I'm still going to dabble in the PvP, as I can already sense that the fun that can be had and the combat's quick, and I'm sure there'll be a variety of modes and maps on offer, so it never gets stale. I'm still concerned about the community, and so far their complaints on some of the OP of some abilities, such as the class's supers and the vehicles and turrets, but I'm sure Bungie has the experience to iron any of these concerns out for the full game. And of course I'm sure they'll keep the game updated constantly, as this is a massive decade-long project they have committed to, so I'm sure they're on top of it. As for now, I am off, and feel free to stay to the end, as on after the game is a 30-second clip from a cutscene in Destiny, which contains some of the best music from any video game I've heard in the last 2 years. Thank you guys and girls, and cheers, and I'll see you next time.
Zone B neutralized. Zone A lost. Zone B secure. Enemy captured Zone A. You neutralized Zone C. Zone C captured. This isn't a fight, it's a massacre. You neutralized Zone A. Zone B lost. You captured Zone A.